Hi Liam. So your journey on the Btec is coming to an end in about 3 weeks' time. It seems a long time now. So it's every day coming in, trudging in from the Black Country. Where do you live?
West Bromwich.
West Bromwich. Yeah. So on the tram, 2
day.
years without fail, day and night.
It's gonna feel weird.
How's it been?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely life changing, really. I remember coming here from sixth form and seeing myself back then in pictures and videos and how much I've matured and changed. Because when I first started, I was a skinny little boy, and now I feel like I've grown into
a man.
A man, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I remember interviewing you, and then the aspiration was always to go on to drama school, and I'm very pleased to say that you've managed to convert that into a reality because you've been offered a place at
Alra.
Okay, to do the 3-year BA in acting, which is really exciting. So you're off to Wigan.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe ask you a question about that towards the very end, but very well done.
Thank you.
I mean, people say, oh yeah, it's a rich kid's playground. I'm not so sure that's strictly true, is it? Because actually, with the advent of student loans and all the rest of it, it's certainly not easy to get in. I mean, how many auditions to drama schools did you actually do?
So I auditioned for 3 drama schools,
Okay.
which was Rose Bruford, Manchester and Alra.
Yeah.
I got to the final round in Rose Bruford and I couldn't make the recall for Manchester.
Okay.
But Alra was just one audition.
Okay. And you got through. So you're pleased about that because
Yeah,
actually you've cash converted your aspiration into reality. And I'm not saying this to sort of sound at all in any way claiming any responsibility, but how important was the Btec 2 years at BTS to shaping that possibility?
It was the most important thing because before I came to BTS, I didn't know what drama school was, as funny as that sounds. I didn't know what Rose Bruford, what Alra was. I didn't know how to get out there, how to audition. And as soon as I came to BTS, it completely changed my dreams into a reality.
Yeah. So it wasn't all in one go, was it? I mean, you had some issues with health.
Yeah.
You've dislocated your knee. You've been unwell, but you've battled through, haven't you? I mean, I think 2 years ago you were co-playing Winston Smith in 1984. That had a huge physical demand upon you, and that you said that was a life-changing show for you, wasn't it?
It really was. It was. I've never actually, until that point, I never had that much responsibility. Where I had to play a major speaking role in the entire second half of a 3-hour play, and it completely made me grow up.
So was that the backbone of the learning, really? It sort of started to build from there. Then you went on to play Alex.
Yeah, in Clockwork Orange, which was really fun.
Okay.
There was a lot of fear because, you know, all the physical stuff.
Well, that was where you dislocated your knee.
That was
1984.
1984.
Yeah, indeed. And then you moved on into you had a cameo little appearance as Gonzalo in The Tempest, in Btec last year's their Shakespeare show, and then you picked up on numerous shows. So when you look back then into your second year, you then played, I think perhaps what you would regard as your kind of nemesis role, which was the MC in Cabaret.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about how you feel about that.
So the MC was a major shock because in the first year you think, oh, I'm going to come to BTS in my second year. It's going to be, I'm going to use what I've learned in the first year and really come in engaging. And then when we were told we were doing Cabaret, I remember seeing the role of the MC and just thinking, this is going to be a challenge, for he's a flamboyant, quite over-exaggerated character, and the singing side of it as well, which is just absolutely terrifying. But thankfully, we have Rhea that comes into BTS to teach us all those skills. So the MC, I think, really pushed that boundary.
For you?
Yeah, really.
Very much so. Because you had to sing, you had to dance, you had to act.
Exactly, I never thought I'd actually have to do all those 3 things.
And it was very well received, Cabaret, wasn't it? It was hugely well. It was very popular in terms of box office, but it was also very popular in terms of people's responses. Why do you think that's the case? I mean, it's a very old musical. It's over 50 years old. So what is it about that story that you felt captured people's imaginations? Was it something about the period, the time? It was a snapshot of...
It was set in the time of the rise of fascism with the Nazis, where they were killing Jews and such. And I think when you look at the world today, you see ISIS, which is stuff going on in the Middle East. It's kind of like you can see like there's a relevance to it, and but also I think people just like to see Yeah, like music and such.
Sure, but it's not a sing-along happy clappy show, is it? It's not
it's
like
quite dark.
Footloose
Quite
or
dark.
Grease.
You
You were very fortunate enough in the end of your first year, or some point in the first year, to have an international trip to Poland, to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Little did you know that that would become a backdrop to the work you were going to do, not directly related to cabaret, because actually cabaret happens before that even happened, but did you find that very helpful and useful?
Indeed.
It supported your the device project you did, didn't it? Yeah, absolutely. So and then moving into the second year, after cabaret, you did Macbeth, where you played Banquo, which involved a fair amount of stage combat, did it not? And then moving into the final term, you've been involved in playing
D'Artagnan.
No less.
Yeah, so
walking in the shoes of some famous actors who have attempted to play the role. And stage combat plays a big part in this, doesn't it? You took a course alongside the Btec, did you not? Do you think that was a wise investment of time and money for you?
It really was. It really was. See, that's a thing now I can take on in the future.
Right.
So if there's any roles out there that require combat.
Let me ask you a question. If you had not done that stage combat course, do you think you would have been playing D'Artagnan?
No.
Why?
Because the skills required to play D'Artagnan are the skills I picked up in stage combat.
And you have to have those skills to be able to do it. Impossible. So a word of advice is to anyone:
take every single opportunity BTS gives you, and there's always opportunities in the evenings, and there's always extra classes going on. Just try and take it.
You look back over the 2 years. Do you have a count of the number of shows you've done?
I think I've done 20 shows.
Right. I remember there was a student here a few years ago, Sam, who's gone on to Rose Bruford, and he gave you some advice, didn't he? Do you remember?
His advice was, take every opportunity, always do the Diploma, always do the active beginners.
And you did something that he didn't do, which is the stage combat, because it wasn't running at that time, the opportunity for Btec to do that. So, having taken that advice, would you pass that advice on to anyone else that was listening?
Yes.
Yeah, the same. Okay, Liam, well, you start Aura in the autumn.
Yeah.
I hope that BTS won't be a fading memory and supplanted by the richesse of what drama school will offer you in Wigan, and maybe a small part of that you'll take with you to spread the love and word to those who kind of will think that they're the bee's knees. And really, we do wish you the very best of luck with Three Musketeers coming up.
Thank you.
And more importantly, with your time to come over the next 3 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.